But to answer the ultimate question, whether or not we have a capacity supply obligation, we are proceeding forward with this project. We do not need a CSO for this project to be economically viable. I've read in the last few days since Thursday a lot of people who know nothing about power plant economics commenting about whether or not, from our perspective, this facility is economically viable. We've been doing this for a very long time. A capacity supply obligation is a nice to have. It is not essential. This facility, like many others, can operate well and profitably as a merchant plant. And so ultimately, from our perspective, whether or not FERC grants ISO's request has no impact on our ability and determination to proceed forward with the project.
I guess Jerry Elmer from the Conservation Law Foundation is saying this project is dead. This is another nail in the coffin, and that the power plant is not needed going forward. Can you answer that?
Sure. With respect to this plant is dead, I'll quote Mark Twain, rumors of our death have been greatly exaggerated. I dare say not just exaggerated, falsified. We are not dead. We are proceeding forward. And you need to highlight if you've seen the letter from ISO. They don't say a thing about need. Just like last year when Unit 2 didn't qualify for the auction, and Mr. Elmer once again made comments that weren't consistent with ISO's position, this is exactly the same thing. They could, if they chose to, take the position that the facility isn't needed for reliability, for market reasons, for whatever it may be. They have not done that. They've said specifically it's because of delay in the schedule, and because of that we haven't started construction. So, with all due respect to Mr. Elmer, he's plugging words into ISO's mouth that ISO is not saying and has not said, and our belief is will not say. So, the absence or presence of a CSO, which is a market mechanism, has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not this facility is needed as part of the criteria under the Rhode Island Energy Facility Siting Act. They're completely disconnected from each other. One is economic, the other one is system-based. So he's just plain wrong.
And the system and the power plant is needed to meet energy needs, in 5 or 10 years and beyond, I guess, right?
Both in the near term and in the long term, correct. As more retirements occur, a lot of this was last week when Dr. Roberts and I were engaging with each other. And with all due respect to Dr. Roberts, and I do respect him, we agree on a large number of things with respect to climate change. But given the efficiency of this plant and the inefficiency of the far older plants that are in the system, and the need to balance the output from the, I don't want to call it burgeoning or increasing, but from the anticipated increase in renewables, which again we know quite a bit about given what most of our business is. A plant like this is absolutely needed in the long term for decades to come.
Do you think the plant maybe is just too big for the area, that it had would a smaller plant be easier to permit?
Would a smaller plant be easier to permit? Honestly, given the nature of the opposition that we've seen, no, I think we would have run into the same issues. And from our perspective, the size fits the need. I mean, just take a look at what happened over Labor Day. I don't remember the exact number, but ISO need was on the verge of outstripping capacity by, I believe, was it 2,000 megawatts? Was that? Yeah. That was the Labor Day weekend. So tell me there isn't a need for a facility like this when you're that close on a hot summer day. And those hot summer days aren't going to get, I agree with Dr. Roberts, it's not going to get any better in the near term. And when you consider the far lower amount of emissions of this plant as compared to even if you ignore coal, and we don't, and what plants like this do in accelerating the demise of coal. When you look at this one compared to plants that are 20 or 30 years old, the technology has advanced dramatically. We're far cleaner, far more efficient than anything that's currently operating in this market.